Hello and welcome, my friends. Welcome to another video with my flea market vintage finds. Today's video you'll see it contains several items, and most of them were bought from my local flea market, but also some items you see on my desk were bought from dedicated Facebook groups, but were brought from my country, Romania. I will start my video again with the items related to writing instruments, and I will continue the rest of my video with my other finds non-related to writing instruments on my other channel, Flea Market Vintage Finds. And probably you will see a link at the end of this video. Also, I will leave a link in the description of this video. So probably you know, to gain access to my local flea market, there's an entry fee of 5 leis, the equivalent of approximately 1.01 euro or 1.10 US dollars. I will show you only the writing instruments I found there at the local flea market. So I will start with this one. This is a beautiful metal stand for 2 writing instruments. You can see it has this ball-shaped design that allows you to put the writing instruments how you please. Unfortunately, no manufacturer's imprint on it, but you can see quite a well-built and quite a solid stand. And I bought this stand for only 15 leis, or the equivalent of 3.03 euros, or 3.30 American dollars. You can see a quite nice desk stand. Okay, and also at my local flea market, I found this beautiful leather etui in this brown with those decorations on it, and inside of it one ballpoint pen, and I will zoom on it because this is a Lalex pen. But what is interesting, it has this hallmark of silver here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's definitely 925. So probably of a male, so sterling silver pen, gold plated, and this is one of the pens that were inside that etui. And the other one is this nice Parker. It has a little dent over here. Parker, rolled gold, made in England. Quite a nice model. It has a little bit of a dent. I want you to, yes, you can see it clearly in this angle. And guys, for those 3 items that I found at my local flea market, I paid, so for the pouch and the 2 ballpoint pens, I paid 113 leis, the equivalent of 22.81 euros or 24.89 US dollars. So also this I found at my local flea market. And I found several other items that I will leave at the end of this video. And remember, guys, the whole video you will see on my other channel, Flea Market Vintage Finds. And now let me continue with the other items related to, let's say, writing instruments. And I will start with this lot. So I bought this beautiful leather etui and this inkwell from the same gentleman. As a matter of fact, probably you've seen their unboxing at the previous episode, but let me remind you. So I paid for this inkwell, this etui, and the two fountain pens in there. I paid around 520 lei. But if I placed them separately, I paid for this beautiful, beautiful inkwell with this space to deposit your writing instrument, and you can see the storage. I paid for this 80 leis, or the equivalent of 16.15 euros, or 17.62 US dollars. This aside here, okay. And you can see this beautiful, beautiful leather etui. It contains two writing instruments. One of them is this wonderful, wonderful Mont Blanc 22. I will zoom on it because here on this band we have Mont Blanc right here, number 22. This is a wonderful, wonderful fountain pen, and it comes with this interesting, interesting gold nib. And if we zoom on the two little tines, I'm guessing it's an oblique one. I certainly will test it in a full review, so stay tuned on my channel and we will see about that. So on this Mont Blanc 22, I paid with a 14 karat oblique nib, I paid 250 leis, the equivalent of 50.45 euros, or 55.07 US dollars. And let's put this back on the etui. And another wonderful, wonderful buy, my first Swiss-made fountain pen, as you can see engraved on the barrel. I hope, let me zoom, a Aska National Swiss-made fountain pen. In fact, it's the Aska 95 with the F nib. Unfortunately, is missing the clip from the cap, but it has this wonderful, wonderful 14 karat 5A5 gold nib. Yes, engraved Aska on it. It is quite a flexible nib. And for this beautiful pen, I paid only 150 leis, the equivalent of 30.28 euros, or 33.04 American dollars. And I don't know if I told you the price I paid on the wonderful etui. Well, this cost me around 40 leis, or the equivalent of 8.07 euros, or 8.81 US dollars. You can't beat a well-built vintage leather etui, guys. So whenever you have the chance, just buy one. So this is the other buy. I will leave it right over here. And guys, apart from this lot, today it arrived this wonderful, wonderful lot with these instruments, writing instruments, and this beautiful, beautiful boom box from Sharp. It's a piece from the late 1970s. It's the GF6161, and probably I will make a description of it. Probably I will review it on my other channel, Flea Market Vintage Finds. But now, for those of you who are passionate about writing instruments, let me continue. So what you see here in this wonderful, wonderful red box all came from the same seller. And let me start with the most beautiful and vintage one. And I'm not so sure about this, but definitely I believe it's a Pelican, an old Pelican, N100, I believe. And let me tell you first, before I present it to you, what I paid for this wonderful vintage German piston filler. I paid 300 leis or the equivalent of 16.57 euros or 66.09 US dollars. What is interesting on this ebonite cap, we can see patent pelican, and we unscrew the cap, we can see this wonderful pelican nib. And we have pelican 585 14 karat. Let me see how springy it is. It's slightly flexible. So this was my first buy of that lot. Okay, let me place this here. And let me continue with the other ones. This is a wonderful mechanic pencil, but not just all a simple mechanic pencil, but a Parker 51, as you can see engraved here. Parker 51. And it appears we have a 14 karat gold plated cap and body. It has some dents and one large over here, but it is just a nice writing instrument. What did I pay for it? Well, I paid 150 leis, or the equivalent of 30.28 euros, or 33.04 American dollars. So quite a nice vintage piece. Now let me continue with this wonderful shepherd made in the USA. It is engraved here GSD. Let me see. W.A. Shepherd Pen Company, Fort Madison, Iowa, USA, made in USA. And if we open it, we can see here, probably this is a touch model. I have already one in my collection, but in blue. And probably I will leave a link to that video right over here. What did I pay for this wonderful pen? Well, I paid 150 leis, or the equivalent of 30.28 euros, or 33.04 US dollars. A wonderful piece. And now for the last piece. It's a wonderful Italian pen. Probably I have this particular model in my collection, but believe me, knowing how nice it is built, look at that beautiful multifaceted ink window. This is an 88K with a beautiful gold nib. I'm pretty much sure that it is a piston filler, and yes, you can see that piston, and probably it is in a perfect working order. And that wonderful cap, gold plated cap. And I paid for the Aurora 88K 120 lei, the equivalent of 24.23 euros, or 26.43 American dollars. So guys, those were my flea market vintage finds related to writing instruments. I will continue my video on the other channel, Flea Market Vintage Finds. So I want to wish you a wonderful day, my friends, wherever you are, and God bless, and I will see you in the next episode.